I think it's really good to see a festival like this, only 2 years since they relaunched it, coming to life and really getting delegates from across all of Europe. I mean, to have 600 people here is a real tribute to the organisers. It looks like the event in Europe now.
The second Radio Days Europe had almost 700 participants from 45 countries, making Radio Days Europe the biggest radio conference in Europe. Radio professionals from commercial and public radio could take part in 40 different sessions with a wide range of topics, discussions about radio's future and lots of inspiration to bring back home to their stations.
I think it's one of the most interesting conferences for radio people all over the world. I met colleagues from Norway, from Denmark, from Holland, and as a matter of fact, we are dealing with the same problem. So sometimes it's very comforting if you can share your problems, if you can discuss things and you see that they have similar issues to cope with. We don't know what the future will bring and where we will be with radio within 5 years. Is it still FM? Are there other ways of using radio? What is going to happen with the mobile phones, with radio on mobile phones? I think that's important, and that are very interesting questions for all radio makers all over the world.
The company I work for, we have an app on mobile devices for smartphones called iHeartRadio that you download. It's a free app, and you can listen to over 750 radio stations all around the country. It's definitely being where the listeners are. We know they're carrying their smartphones with them all the time, and to be able to offer your radio station or your brand to them on their mobile device is very important.
It's an incredible hub because you never get the chance to talk to colleagues, and I think that especially Americans and British are very eager to share what they learn, which doesn't mean we share our expertise or our secrets, but being able to talk about the same job that we all love and in all different nuances and different kind of experiences and backgrounds is just exciting. You know, there's one place on earth, and it's here, where radio people can just talk about radio. It's fantastic. We talk about a lot of things about technology and softwares and the use of social media and everything, but I think at the end of the day we've come to a point where we've actually looking for the simplest way to use these things, which is something I was looking forward in the last few years, and I think we've come to that, and radio is becoming more prominent again.
Social media is a great way to, I mean, you have to be careful with the way you use it, but it can definitely help continue to build brand loyalty and also possibly bring in new listeners and new followers, because if a friend of yours is following, let's say, Z100, and you don't listen to Z100, and you see some of the things they may retweet or talk about from Z100, it just could potentially bring in someone else that could check you out for something.
I'm deeply impressed. It's my first time at Radio Days Europe. The quality of the event is very good. The quality of the venue is good. The quality of the speakers is excellent. And I'm meeting people that are all very excited about the changes in radio, online, mobile becoming the next big thing, which is very good for me as somebody who works in online-based radio and is very excited about what's happening in the mobile market at the moment. So definitely it was worth coming here.
It's really a great show. I mean, I didn't expect so much input. Usually you get a lot of marketing stuff on that kind of conference, but this is different, I think. I'd absolutely say I'm inspired.
UK Radio Player is a brand new project where all of the radio stations in the UK have agreed to collaborate on a single online listening experience. We're doing that because we've found out from our listeners that whilst they think our individual players are all great, moving between them is very confusing. It's very difficult for them to use online radio in the same way that they use their normal radios. So we're hoping that having a standard player will make more people use online radio. We're also putting in a really interesting search function so that people can find things to listen to on the radio. They can put in a radio station name, they can put in where they live, they can put in an artist name.
One of the things I thought was very impressive was at the level people are talking about the users and not the technical medium. If you look at mobile conferences, people really talk about the technical medium, that now we have a 4.3-inch capacitive screen, blah, 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 blah. Nobody really talks about what people want to do. And the two talks I heard were really about who are the users, what's the problem, how do we engage them more, and which I think is interesting, and I think the reason might be that radio is a very mature technology, so you don't have to talk about the technology that much. You can actually talk about how it's being used. But also, I think that radio is a business where people are fearing that it's going to disappear. So people are being much more innovative right now than they're in mobile, because mobile is growing. So nobody has to be innovative to survive.
I think at the end of the day, the challenges are similar across Europe. What is clear from the session is that different markets are at a different point in terms of digital evolution. So you've got somewhere like Norway, where the government have said we are switching over to a digital DAB+ infrastructure in 2017, where other countries are still debating that and quite a long way behind in that regard.
Next year, Radiodays Europe will be hosted in a new city. We hope to see you all in Barcelona in March 2012.